is Beer Friday. And I always like to start this segment, Beer Friday, by saying to Grande Alejandro, thank you for saying publicly on Twitter that you think this is the greatest idea I've ever had in my entire radio career and my entire podcasting career. You think Beer Friday is brilliant? I like that. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you once again, thank you, because you let me drink beer on a Friday and get paid. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's why it's the best segment ever.
Beer Friday today being presented by our friends at Tory Holistics. Usually they're sponsoring the highlight of the day, man. But on a Friday,
this is the highlight of my day, man.
This is the highlight of the day, man. So Tory Holistics this weekend, I'm telling you right now, you hear their commercials air on 1090. Have you heard the reggae commercials? They're really good. They're really good. So Tory Holistics this weekend, you're saving 20% when you're using our promo code 1090. So if you're loading up because you're getting locked down.
And check this out, Scott.
Yeah.
This weekend, tomorrow, Sunday, and the 25th of November, take an extra 25% off PAX Era Pods. That's where it's at. Made from Buddies and Jetty Extracts. So PAX Era Pods are now 25% off the next 2 days at Tory Holistics.
Wow. Tory Holistics is the website. ToryHolistics.com is the website I meant to say. And also you can save 20% when you're there, or even if you're just buying online, just use our promo code 1090. Nobody else gets 20% off other than GreatFriends. Okay. Beer Friday being presented today by Tory Holistics. Let me introduce everybody to a gentleman I'm meeting for the first time. His name is Tom Kiley. I hope I'm saying his last name right. And he is with, did I get it?
Nailed it, yeah.
Okay, because I'm sure a lot of people probably look at your name and they're like, Tom Kiley. Yeah.
No,
Tom
90% Kiley.
Yeah. Yep. Tom is the general manager of Thorn Brewing Company. And if I'm being completely honest, this is the first time I'm hearing of Thorn. But Tom, that's what Beer Friday is all about. It's like a 20-minute infomercial for you to tell everybody listening on radio, on podcast, on YouTube, audio, video. This is 20 minutes for you for free, bro, to promote your beer. So happy to have you here.
Hey, I appreciate being a part of your greatest idea.
Now,
which I second, by the way. I didn't want to speak out of turn, but I concur.
You do. Let me ask you a question. Are you a Boston native?
Confirmed. Yeah. Whitman, Mass. I'm a suburban guy.
Okay, but I still hear the Mass.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be listen. I'm going to warn you right now. You got to be careful, because if you talk for more than 2 minutes, he's going to start talking like that.
Oh yeah.
So prepare yourself. I can already hear him doing it.
Yeah, I run a brewery. I'm around drunk people all the time. You don't think? Do you know how many times I've gotten how do you like them apples? Park the car. I'm used to it.
Yeah, I just sat here. We were at a short commercial break, and I see Trump is speaking for the first time. And all of a sudden, once I hear Trump speaking, I start saying, just tremendous, people. Just the China virus, tremendous people. And I don't know why. It's not a good impression. It's just I hear him, and then I start acting. I start talking like that.
Dude, Tom, we've had like Frank Caliendo or like other impressionists on the show, and instead of being like, man, that's great, like, you know, he starts doing his own impressions. You know, that's what Scott does here.
Other than them doing an impression.
Yeah, right. So like Caliendo will come on. He'll be doing his full on Barkley, and I'll be like, that's just terrible, man. Terrible. Ernie, it's just terrible. And like, instead of just like really loving the fact that this world-class impressionist is here and doing his stuff on our air, I try and battle it out with him. It makes no sense at all.
I know we're here to talk about beer, but if we got a real quick sports thing, is there anything better in sports than Charles Barkley's golf swing?
Well, we're going to get to see it. We're going to get to see it next week, dude, because you know that next week is the Phil Tiger, Steph Curry, Charles Barkley post-Thanksgiving match.
Oh, sick. I watched the last one.
Yeah, you'll get to enjoy it a lot. Speaking of sports, how long have you been from Boston out here to San Diego? How long's it been?
San Francisco 2012, and then I came down here in 2013.
And did you come to San Diego to get into the beer business?
I worked in beer back in Boston, and then I was going to quit to move to San Francisco just to do it. And then the company I worked for was like, hey, you need a job? I'm like, yeah, I'd love a job. So I was going to start something for them up in San Francisco. They started a company in San Diego, put San Francisco on hold, and sent me down here. So, yeah, I was continuing my my craft beer employment.
Okay, so who'd you work for? I'm just curious how this goes from Boston to San Fran and then down to San Diego. Because I think of like Sam Adams, you know, I only think of Sam Adams from Boston.
Mm-hmm. So where I used to work in Boston, we sold Sam Adams. So you got the brewery sells to the distributor, and then the distributor sells to all the bars and liquor stores. Mm-hmm. I worked for the distributor for 6 years. So they're primarily in New England, and then they just opened up operation in California pretty much the year that I moved out.
All right. So this is Tom Kiley. He's the general manager of Thorn Brewing Company. How does a guy from the distribution side, how do you wind up getting into the actual making of the beer side, and how do you get to Thorn Brewing?
Well, Scott, once you get fired from a job, you get creative. So I worked for the distributor for like 6 years. Mm-hmm. So I got fired, and then I was like, okay, I have experience in distribution. When I was up in San Francisco, I was going to be starting a distributor. So I was talking to a lot of small breweries. And I was like, man, these guys just don't really understand how a distributor operates. So when I left the distributor, I was like, okay, I can probably bring some of this knowledge and experience to small breweries. So I went to the Brewers Guild website, and I knew a bunch of breweries because I already been working there for a year. So I had an idea of who had distribution and who didn't. So I just started hitting up breweries that I knew didn't have distribution to be like, hey, if you need help with distribution, I'm your guy. And Thorn, at the time, Thorn Street was the first one to get hit me back up, and that was it. That was 6 years ago. 6 years. Yeah, they got what a steal for them. a great acquisition.
Hey, you getting fired turned into a great thing for Thorn.
You were and for me.
Yeah. You were a draft sleeper, as they say.
Yeah. Could you compare it to a Tom Brady? I suppose you could.
How many rings you got?
Man, not a jewelry guy.
Hey, let me tell you something right now. Based on that beard, I might compare it more to a Dan Fouts.
I'll take that.
Yeah. So when you got to Thorn, what did you get in the door doing? Hey, I know about distribution. You're a small brewery. You don't. How did you got in the door? That was 6 years ago. And then I'm curious, like, what did you get in the door as? Because now you've got this title of GM.
So I came in as a consultant. So it was like a distribution consultant. So I just filed for a DBA and came on 10 hours a week. And then they needed help with sales because the salesperson left. So I came on full time and I started doing all the sales. And then we sold to capacity in North Park, which is a small brewery. Can only do about 1,000 barrels a year. A keg, as you know it, is half of a barrel. So imagine 2,000 kegs a year. That was our capacity in the old spot. And we reached that, got some money together, and then opened up this big spot in Barrio Lager. And then when that happened, there were 3 owners, and they all kind of had different expertise and specialties. And they're like, hey, Tom, we trust you to be to take it over. So
wow. So these two guys, Alex and Browner here, they're both in North Pack right now.
Yeah, I didn't actually know
neighbors?
That. So you said it's no longer Thorn Street. Now it's just Thorn Brewing?
So the North Pack location is Thorn Street. That's the original. And then Thorn Brewing Company is technically the parent company. It's more of a technicality, but we still call it North Pack Thorn Street. And then Thorn Brewing Company is whenever you see the cans anywhere, or if you come to Barrio or the tasting room in Mission Hills, that's Thorn Brewing Company.
Nice. Yeah, because yesterday when I went to go pick up this beer, my first time in the Barrio Lager one, I was like, oh, dude, this is huge. Well, obviously, I've only been to the Thorn Street one here, so it was dope. It was great to see.
It's massive. Significantly different.
Significantly different, because the one on Thorn Street, Scott, I'm sure you've never seen it. It just looks like a house. The front of it looks, it's cute. It looks like a little house in North Park. You're very unassuming. You're like, that's a brewery? And you go in there, you're like, yeah, it is.
I was just down there because they're doing the food thing next door. I was down there for that
Grand Old Barbecue?
Yeah. I was down there for that opening, the rough opening.
So you guys moved from this small little brewery, this cute little house in North Pack, and now you got
See what I mean?
You don't have to do that.
And
but it wasn't a bad one. I'll give you that. I've heard much worse.
By the way, I thought North Park and North Pack were two completely different places. You'll have to excuse me.
Fair enough.
So you guys are now, you have a big giant place now in Barrio Logan. Is that right?
Yeah, it's massive. And we just, one of the owners of the brewery just opened up a distillery and barbecue pizza kitchen next door. So it's now a like massive.
Oh, you guys own the next door barbecue joint too?
I mean, I don't.
Right.
One of the guys that owns Thorn does.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I walked by, I was like, this barbecue
and it's all
awesome.
Outdoors.
It's sick.
It's all outdoors. Yeah. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's all outdoors. It's the guy that did all the smoking for Grand Ole Barbecue, and he's smoking all the meats there. And they got a fine dining executive chef that's high school friends. It's pretty much a bunch of guys that went high school together, and all friends run it all next door. And actually, our chief engineer is their head distiller. So
that's awesome.
A lot of incest going on.
They all went to Saints.
Confirmed. Are you a Saintsman?
No, sir, I am not.
It's a cult.
It is. It is.
It is the way they stick together. It's insane.
Dude, they'll admit it though.
So Tom, I was talking to Tom yesterday on the phone, and he tells me, and if I heard you correctly, and I don't know if you were pulling my leg or not, Scott Kaplan, the original brewer of Thorn.
Oh yeah. So we do a Brother Scotty's. It's a triple IPA area. So Russian River Brewery is like they like invented the triple IPA, and there's a big festival in Hayward, California every year during San Francisco Beer Week, and there's a competition. It's the double IPA festival, but they have a double IPA competition, a triple IPA competition. So a lot of breweries nationwide will make triple IPAs in February. It's kind of like a seasonal in that respect. So we do one called Brother Scotty's because our initial head brewer was Scott Kaplan, and the last beer he brewed before he quit brewing to shape surfboards was this triple IPA. So it's named in his honor, and it won the Hamilton's hosts. I don't just caught fire. I don't know if you heard of that.
I did.
But Hamilton's had been hosting like the big triple IPA competition in San Diego every year, and actually it won last year.
Wow.
Congrats, Scott.
Wow. How about that? So for me, my name, Scott Kaplan, there's a famous brewer. For Alex's name here, there's the state attorney. What is it? Who is it?
Secretary of State.
Secretary of State.
I think he's going to take over for Kamala too, as senator.
Yes, Secretary of California, same name. There you go. Tom Kiley is here. He's the general manager of Thorn Brewing Company. Tom, so look, the reason I love this segment every week is because I get to learn about beer and I get to learn about different beer brands in San Diego. Everybody knows Stone and Ballast Point and all the big ones, and we've had them all here on the show. But I like learning about breweries like Coronado or Epic or Hess. I like learning about these breweries that are big and that are kicking ass, but are not the big giant brands. So tell us about some of the beer that we're going to try here today from Thorn.
Let's do it. So what we focus on primarily is, I call them 3 beers. And I had a buddy. He was the first employee at Brooklyn Brewery. He's the one that told me that term, and I love it. The idea of a 3 beer is a beer you can have 3 of. You won't get too drunk. You won't get too full, and you won't go broke. So it's affordable, a little bit lower in alcohol, right? So what I got for you guys, I carefully selected a Treading Lightly. It's our low-calorie, low-carb IPA. Our Michelada, which is we make a Mexican lager, and we have our own Michelada mix blend. And then a little experimental. I brought our Couchbound, which is not a 3 beer. It's an Imperial Hazy IPA, but it was in the same series that Brother Scotty's is going to be in, which is why I brought it. And those are the beers I brought today.
I really love the cans, and I really like the packaging. I like the colors. Now, Alex, Michelada, that's something you like Michelada, right?
Yeah, I love micheladas. You know what though? You see this in the grocery stores all the time, like Modelo, Bud Light. They make their own tall can michelada. Never had one. I just prefer to make them. I've never had this one, so I'm very curious. You guys make your own mix too?
Oh yeah. So we get Barrio Lager. It's our best-selling beer. It's a Mexican lager.
Love it.
And thank you, brother. And what we do is we take tomato juice. We get it straight from like a tomato farmer, and they package it up and send us buckets at a time. We have lime juice, clam juice, hot sauce, Worcester sauce, and we use ponzu. So, and we mix it all in one, and then we can it ourselves.
Should we start with this one?
Yeah, let's start with the Michelada. This one sounds really good.
Go for it.
Browner, how's that sound to you, dog? Because now, Alex, how do you make your own? How do you make a michelada at home? You just take tomato juice and
pretty
beer?
much everything he just mentioned, just making it yourself. You know, some clam juice, lime juice. I use tahini, some hot sauce, stuff like that.
I ain't never had no michelada, man. I'm not really, I'm not a big mixer. I'm a short mixer. I'm a 2-ingredient kind of guy.
Tom, brewers aren't exactly down with the michelada, is what Browner's saying here.
We finna find out.
Well, hold on. I thought you were saying you don't like to mix more, but if someone will do it for you, why not drink it? You know what I mean?
By the way, this smells so good.
That's why I'm here.
This smells so good. It smells like a Bloody Mary.
Exactly.
You know?
I've also never had a Bloody Mary.
Really? You know what?
Yeah.
I was very late to the Bloody Mary game myself. The idea of drinking tomato juice sounded disgusting. And then someone just gave me a michelada one day, and I'm like, I've never heard of this. It's delicious.
Dude.
Oh, my God, that's good.
Not good, right?
It's good in the sense of you've had a michelada and this is very similar, or this is just a good drink?
Yeah, I've never had a michelada. This is just good.
You've never had a michelada?
No, I've had Bloody Marys, and I feel like
salty.
It's like I feel like I love the spice that I taste in the beer. I would never normally think of beer spicy and tomato juicy. I really love it.
Dude.
Yeah.
You could wake up hungover and pop this open and just get started all over again.
Look at Browner.
What's
Browner,
in this?
Browner, what's worse, this or the bomb, Browner?
It's
go ahead.
Tomato juice, hot sauce, lime juice, clam juice, Worcester ponzu.
I love it.
Damn, that's good.
I can taste at least 3 of them in here, and my taste buds are done.
Dude, that's good. So good. That is so good.
If you can taste 3, that's beautiful.
Tom, you know my favorite part about this is I feel like when you go get micheladas at places that they make them for you, they're never spicy. This is spicy. Yeah. Like it's got a perfect amount of kick to it.
Oh God.
Yeah, we were like,
Browner.
how do we make it? Doctor, how do you make it spicy enough so that people that like spicy will appreciate it, but not so spicy? And same with every ingredient. How do you? Beer, you're not gonna like it. So, but like if you like those things,
you can definitely taste the ingredients, which is always a good sign of someone who made something. It tastes very authentic. It's just not my kind of taste. No, but you can taste all of that.
Now, for me, this is where I'm learning so much when it comes to doing these Beer Fridays. Like, this is something to me that I would never have enough guts to order somewhere or buy on my own. But now that I've tried it and I like it, I would actually look cooler somewhere ordering the michelada instead of like just a standard light beer. And it's delicious. I love it.
You know, what's really interesting with that beer is, we're like anyone else, right? You guys probably get trolled all the time. People tell you suck or whatever, and you don't care. So we get people that are like, oh, this beer sucks, that beer sucks. We're like, yeah, we don't care. But this is the only one we've ever had where, like, without fail, 100% of the hate that we get on it is from people that admit they don't drink it. Like, I've never had it, but it looks gross and I hate it. And I don't blame them.
I love it. But, all right, what else should we try here? This one,
by the way, a side note.
We're doing this.
Sorry to interrupt, dude. A side note, because we're not tasting it on camera, but Tom did send the beer that he mixes everything with, the Barrio Lager. Scott, you'll love that, like, on its own. It's so good, dude. It's so good.
He said that you're a light beer drinker, so I threw it in there as an aside. And I figured I knew I could drop the word in there because it was the base of the michelada, so I knew I could squeeze 4 beers in my conversation. Well, let's go. We're doing this kind of in reverse order because, well, hold on. Let's do the couch bound because the treading lightly is the most delicate, and that michelada is really that's gonna coat your palate pretty hard. So you're gonna have to take a few sips of this to get that michelada out of your mouth.
Okay, so this couch blend, that sounds to me like a beer that's gonna put me down for a little while. I mean, is that what you're going for? It's 8% alcohol.
Yes. Well, couch bound. So initially it was so we're doing direct to consumer delivery. So you can go to Thorn.beer and we'll deliver a case to your house. You can do a subscription and we'll do it weekly or monthly, or you can just get one. We have like 10 different beers you can choose from typically at any given point. With this was the first beer in that series. So the idea was couch bound is that you can just sit at home and like order it from home and not have to leave. Also, there's so many like dank hops that you could make a substance reference. Pot.
What?
We're sponsored by Pot. Don't worry, we're good here.
We love a substance reference.
Actually, you guys said Jetty, right?
Yeah, so we have a deal with Tory Holistics, which is the store, and by the way, they're just opening up a new one in Mammoth called Mammoth Holistics. And we also work with a company called HVGC, which is Hellman Valley Growers Company. So the days of CBD and THC and weed being this bad person kind of deal, that stuff's long gone and over with. And so so the couch bound, I was thinking like some indica beer.
Yeah. Well, we actually did it. We worked with Jetty Extracts once on a terpene infused IPA. That was like 3 or 4 years ago. But I mean, hops are related to marijuana. They have similar terpenes. So it's like you're drinking pot's cousin right now. And a lot of it. There's like our Relay IPA has like 3.5 pounds of hops per barrel. That couch bound is 8 pounds per barrel. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Damn.
You're the IPA drinker here.
Yes, I am. This is a double IPA? Double hazy? Is that what it is?
Yes, correct.
Dude. Scott, you're about to ask me what I think about it. I just want to go sit on my couch and watch some TV and drink this all night.
Now we're talking.
Dude, this is serious. I'm not exaggerating. You guys know, Browner was like, Michelada, not for me. This is for me right here, dude. All day. Oh, not all day. Maybe a couple.
Here's the thing about this beer, though, for me. And again, I'm a light beer drinker. I love the Michelada. This beer, for me, not only is it heavier, and not only does it have a lot of alcohol in it, there's a taste and a smell. Like as soon as I drink it, my breath has a smell and a taste. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't drive because if the cops smell that smell, you might get in trouble.
Keep your mask on.
Yeah, really. I mean, I got to say, though, because I'm not an IPA drinker, I mean, it's very tasty and it doesn't seem like overbearing heavy.
So a lot of people that say they don't like IPAs or they don't like hoppy, what they mean is they don't like the bitter flavor profile that you get from hops when you use them early in the process. Hazy IPAs are meant to highlight the more pleasant aromas and citrus and fruit and pine flavors of the hops. So that's why even if you don't like normal IPAs, you might still like a hazy.
Okay. Alex, that's your beer so far. Me, I'm the Michelada. I like the Michelada so far. Now, here's Browner. Here's an opportunity. This is Thorn Brewing Company's Low Carb India Pale Ale. So Treading Lightly is the name of this beer. Is that right?
This wasn't bad, though. I like this. This was good.
Okay.
I'll take that. I'm coming as a ringing endorsement.
How do you do a low carb beer?
So low carbs or low cal, you end up doing it the same way. But the idea is when you make beer, there are starches in the beer that do not convert to sugar because all the sugar converts to alcohol, right? But a starch does not convert to alcohol. So all those starches, you consume them as carbs. So there's an enzyme that you can add to beer which breaks down those starches into sugars, and then the sugar gets fermented out. So pretty much there's just no starches left in the beer. Everything's been fermented out. So it makes the beer really dry, for one, but it also it lightens the body. Yeah. So it's low. It's like 100 calories, like 2.7 grams of carbs, but you still get all the hop flavor. We use Amarillo and Citra, which are two sexy hops. So it's like you're drinking just a light IPA.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I like this. I like the color. I like the body, and I like the taste.
Yeah, this is up our women's drink alley. We like this.
Yeah, this is good. 104 calories. This is good. Thorn Brewing, Treading Lightly. This is really good. I like this. I got to say though, for me, Michelada, I loved it.
Yeah,
I really loved it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a polarizing beverage. You're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. Mm-hmm. There's not gonna be a lot of middle ground on.
I've seen
clam juice.
I've seen like reaction videos on YouTube of people that are like, let's try Micheladas, and they're like, whoa. It's never like, it's never in the middle. It's never in the middle.
I really liked it. Tom, tell everybody, if you don't mind, about the different tasting rooms that Thorn has and how people can come on down. Because I don't really know what the situation is during COVID. And you tell us what's happening out there.
Well, we just got relegated to the purple tier here in California. So that means no indoor dining anywhere. Everything's outdoor. down here in Barrio Logan, we have a ton of space. We have a side yard, we have a sidewalk. We're open Tuesday to Sunday, and from Tuesday to Thursday, it's 4 to 8, and it's noon to 10 the other days. In order to consume alcohol anywhere right now, you have to order a meal. So the food provider that we use in Barrio Logan, we have a kind of like a variety of food trucks. We're starting to partner up with the barbecue next door, Side Yard Barbecue, and also our friends down the street at Mishmash.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mishmash is awesome. And North Park is open every day, and they're 3 to 9 on the weekdays, and then noon on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And they have like 5 different food trucks they're rotating through. Mission Hills is open Wednesday through Sunday, 4 to 8 and noon to 10. And we're getting food from Lefties.
Dude, you guys are getting food from all my favorite places. I love Lefties, and I absolutely love the pterodactyl wings from Mishmash.
Yeah, pterodactyl wings.
Last night when I picked up the beer, I got tamales from La Golondrina. For dinner, dude. They're so good, too. That was good.
They're awesome. We actually they just started coming over.
I'm Kiley, General Manager, Thorn Brewing Company. Some really great beers. I loved the Michelada. Second place for me today is the Treading Lightly. And as is usually the case, the Hazy IPA comes in last for me just because I'm just not an IPA drinker. Alex, how about for you?
Couchbound numero uno. This bad boy. Well, no, not that one. The Michelada number 2. Mm-hmm. And the light number 3, because I like calories, as you can tell by my body.
Yeah.
Treading Lightly, number 1 for me, by far. This is a close number 2, by far. This is number 2.
The Hazy?
This is up there. Yeah. Michelada for me, you're not going to do it.
Couchbound. Hey, how about, but isn't that funny though, Tom, before you go, isn't that funny how like, we tried 3 beers and you got 3 different opinions. That's why you make so many different varieties. Yeah,
exactly. That's the goal, right? Is we try to make a beer for everyone. The person that wants a low-calorie beer isn't going to be the same that wants a beer with tomato juice and clam juice in it, and they're not going to be the one that's going to want 8% hot bomb. That's why I brought a little variety. I feel like I nailed it.
You did. You crushed it. Tom Kiley, General Manager, Thorn Brewing Company. It's thorn.beer, right?
Correct.
Oh my God, I'm burping everywhere. The website,
it begins.
The website is thorn.beer. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them on Instagram. They're on Twitter. Thorn Beer. Tom Kiley, great to be with you. Thank you very much, and happy Beer Friday.
Hey, thank you for your time, guys. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, real pleasure. Thank you, dude.